All right. Thank you so much, Eric. We're so excited to have you. A couple of us in this group have been using Teamzy just for like a month.
Mhm.
And I'm one of them, and it's changing my life. And so we are just really excited to share it with the rest of our groups. There's in this group, there's 5 of us who are national marketing directors.
Awesome.
And so we want to share it with all of our teams because we just from the short time we've used it, I see the value in it, and we're so excited that it's can be tailored to our Juice Plus business.
Yeah.
And so yeah, thank you for getting on, and we just can't wait to hear more about it.
My pleasure. Well, thank you for introducing me. I want you guys to know who are leaders as we get started. If you enjoyed this training, we can set one up for your teams too. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind as we go. Okay, so as I mentioned before, my name's Eric Johnson, creator of Teamzy. What I'm going to do today, guys, a couple things. Obviously, I'm going to show you Teamzy and how you can leverage it in your business. There's 2 things that I want you to know at the outset, and then I'll jump into my presentation. Teamzy, first and foremost, is designed around the concept of the power hour. The idea that we can help you be highly efficient and leveraged with your time and get all your income producing activities done in less than an hour every day. Okay, and it's something that's built on the concept too of being able to duplicate this with your teams. The second thing you need to know is that Teamzy is based on the philosophy of relationship marketing. Okay, and it is a little different than a lot of the training you see in network marketing because it's focused on building relationships. And I know that's probably music to a lot of your ears. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take you through kind of the basics of relationship marketing so you understand the philosophy that the system's built on. Then I'm going to jump you guys into Teamzy. I'll show you how to set it up. It's pretty easy to set up. And then I'll take you through what it's like to do a power hour, how to connect with people. With Teamzy, you can easily start 10 to 20 conversations in about 20 minutes, how to have those conversations, how to invite them to learn about the business, how to follow up like a pro on those invites. I'll take you through the whole process of taking somebody from prospect over to team member. And then at the end, we'll do a Q&A. Sound good? Okay, so I have you all muted. I'm going to keep you muted. If you feel the spirit move you and you need to say something or ask a question, you can unmute yourself. That's just for distractions that you're muted. But again, we will do a Q&A at the end. Okay, let's dive in. All right, so can you guys see my presentation now? How to leverage relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. Okay, I'm going to need a lot of water, sorry. All right. So a little bit about my backstory. Before Teamzy, I have been working in the business coaching and consulting industry for 15 years as a professional business coach, helping people build their business. I kind of got into network marketing by accident, maybe like a lot of you guys did. I started as a Beachbody coach originally, and I had just found some products. They helped me lose weight. I felt great, and I just started sharing them. So I started doing it kind of on the side, just for fun. And when I realized it was an amazing opportunity, I thought, I put on my business coach hat and thought, if this is going to work, I need to leverage my time and be efficient with it. I need to be able to do this in an hour a day. So just so you guys know, I went looking for the tools. Now, if you came to me as a business coach, I would say, well, what are the tools available in your industry to help you leverage your time? We could not find anything for network marketers that was easy to use, that would keep their focus where it needed to be, and that was based on relationships. Everything was based on this whole go for no, pound your list philosophy, which you guys will find I hate as we go through this presentation today. So anyone ever come uncomfortable with the going for no thing? I know you guys probably do it because you're awesome. But if you ever felt uncomfortable with that, I'm going to show you how you can systematically approach and connect with people, but never have that go for no feeling. Make sense? Okay. So we built Teamzy just because there was a need and there wasn't anything out there. That's kind of how it happened. Just to give you a little quick backdrop on Teamzy, we've been in business now 2 years. We're now in over 40 networks. We customize it for networks. So just like you guys are going to see the Juice Plus version, because we don't want your team, your new people, to have to figure out how to set up a CRM, right? And corporations pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to have people set up their CRM. It's too much. So we customize it for you guys. We're in 40 networks. We've had 50,000 network marketers use Teamzy in the last 2 years. And our average Teamzy, the people who are actively using Teamzy, the average numbers right now, just so you guys know, over 90 days is 21 new customers and 9 new recruits. Okay, it's just so you have an idea of the typical results, because we're going to talk a lot about relationships and feeling good, and it doesn't always equate to business, but I'm going to show you guys how systemizing that relationship contact will do it. Okay, so what is relationship marketing? It's kind of a buzzword, and a lot of people have different ideas of what it is. The bottom line is this: relationship marketing is a lead generation system. It's a lead generation system. Okay, that's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. Okay. Here's a principle that I want you guys to get right at the beginning of our call, kind of a mindset shift, and that's this. You're in the lead generation business. Your business is lead generation. It's not marketing the amazing products that you guys have. It's lead generation. And it does not matter how much you sold today or whatever you did. If you didn't do activities that generate new leads for your business, then today was not a day you worked on the business. Does that make sense? And so you got to keep the focus there, that it's all about lead generation. Now, here's the cool thing about lead generation and relationship marketing. Sorry, I'm not real great with my PowerPoint stuff. I got backward slides. Come on, next slide. Here we go. The cool thing about relationship marketing is developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Okay, so just kind of put those two principles together. You're in the lead generation business, meaning you need to generate leads every day or you're not in business. But why do we generate leads? So that we can develop and deepen relationships with them. Okay, so it's a little different. We're not generating, a lead is not just somebody who's interested in purchasing or joining now. A lead is a person, and our goal is to develop a relationship with them. Make sense? Okay. And then what we want to do is turn relationships into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. We turn relationships into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. So as I take you through Teamzy, guys, I'm going to show you how we're going to look at all the people that we know. And there's 3 possibilities for every person we know. They either join our team, they become a customer, or they become an advocate for our business. Okay? So there aren't any no's being thrown away like dead bodies. Everybody falls into our business somewhere. It's kind of cool. Okay. Here's another important principle. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Another way to put this is, if you're a jerk, this ain't going to work. Okay? Have you guys ever met jerks in this business? Okay, at least people that you don't feel are trustworthy. Absolutely. And you know what's so funny is this business has a bad reputation. Am I right? I mean, doesn't it kind of out there? Because so many people have done this with the wrong heart. They've done this to gain themselves, and they've run over people. They've run over relationships. The way we're going to look at it today, it all depends on trust. And so it doesn't work if you're a jerk. But the cool thing is the trust, it makes the work fun. Trust makes the work fun. If someone trusts you even just a little bit, you don't have to convince them. You don't have to talk them into anything. You don't have to sell them. They just want to know how to get helped by you. Also, trust takes away that icky feeling, that icky salesperson feeling. How many of you guys are just paranoid about coming across as the icky salesperson? I know a lot of the people that you're recruiting do too. If there's trust, that's not an issue ever. And then finally you get to go for yes. Instead of going for no, we're going for yes. Everybody's yes at some point in the process. Maybe not right away, but eventually as we build that relationship, they become, like I said, team members, customers, or advocates for us. Okay, so how do you build trust? I'm actually going to give you guys 4 easy ways to build trust. I call them the essential ingredients, okay? And they are these. I'll go through them real quick and then we'll build them out. The first is chemistry. The second one's character. The third is competence. And the fourth is consistency. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency. You guys don't even know how many times I've given this training before I got them all to start with C. You're getting the more refined version of this. Okay, so let's break these out. How to build trust. The first one, chemistry. Try that button one more time. There it is. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Okay, chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? This one you guys probably understand the easiest. I won't go too deep into it. The bottom line is just to remember this principle that it is hard to do business with somebody you don't like. Is that true? And it's hard to trust somebody you don't like. And so you want to find common ground. It probably goes without saying, especially when we're so reliant on social media and connecting with people on social media to build our businesses, guys. But whatever you do as a business owner, just so you know, everything you do is about your business. Whether it's what pants you put on to go to the grocery store, right? Like, you are your business, you are your brand. So you need to understand that everything you do, everything you post, everything you say, everything you do, especially on social media, needs to be about finding common ground, right? Let other people talk about ways they're different from everybody else, but you need to find common ground, because chemistry is the first ingredient to building trust. Next, character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you are relatable. Okay, character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you are relatable. Please notice something on my definition of character, guys. It's not something you have, it's something you do. Okay, I'm going to say it again. Character is not something you have, it's something you do. And a lot of times we think it's like intrinsic. How dare you question my integrity or my character, right? You ever feel that way sometimes? You get all, I do. I'll be honest. Like, I'm easily affronted by that. But then I remember, you know what? This person doesn't know me, and I have not spent any time demonstrating my care to this person. They don't understand my character. And as you understand that character is one of the key ingredients to building trust, it's what you do. It's how you demonstrate your care. Okay? Number 3, competence. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Okay, competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. There's 2 pieces to competence in this business. Again, notice competence is not something you have, but something you demonstrate. It's important. Nobody knows your competence. You have to demonstrate it constantly. But I need to know first and foremost that you know what you're talking about. Right? Are you going to, with the products that you represent, do you know what you're talking about? Can I come to you for advice? Can you help me with the problem that I have that your product solves? And the second piece is, can you mentor me in this business? To join your team, do I feel good about you mentoring me in this business? Are you showing me your competence in that? Now, when I'm talking to new people, a lot of times new people really don't have competence yet. They're brand new and they're just learning, right? How many of you guys have ever heard somebody tell you, just fake it till you make it? Have you guys ever heard that? Just fake it till you make it. Okay, so here's the thing. Remember, we're doing this differently. It's all about building trust. Don't fake it. Don't fake it. Just please don't fake it. That's the wrong way to start. But here's the cool thing. You don't need to fake it, because when you're new and you don't have personal competence, your team does. Your leadership does. You just need to lean into the competence of your team, okay? Lean into the competence of your team. Hey, I'm brand new, I'm learning too, but you need to know my leaders, they know it, like they're amazing. And together we're gonna plug into their leadership and learn the system together, okay? When you're new, lean into the competency of your team. Leaders, teach your new people to lean into your competence. Don't ever have them fake it. Because everybody knows, people start this business with their warm market. Those people know who they are. You can't fake with them. You can't pretend you know something that they know you don't, okay? All right, next. One principle before we move on to the 4th one. One principle on this is that people really only care about 3 things, and this is when they're going to do business with you. They only care about 3 things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? And are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? You can see from this principle, I got those 3 key ingredients, right? The reason I bring up this principle, I wish I could spend a whole hour just talking about this principle, but this is something really kind of cool. When you come up against objections in your business, it could be anything. It could be a product ingredient. Usually the objections are just smoke screens for other things, right? This is where objections come from. Objections come from these 3 feelings. It's like an emotion. It's not even something people consciously think. But they don't know yet if they can trust you or if that you really care about them and do you really know what you're talking about. So as you're overcoming objections as a pro, and I know you guys, there's a lot of leaders on this team, you're teaching your team how to overcome those objections. You need to understand, okay, I still need to invest in this relationship. We're not there yet. We haven't developed that trust yet. Make sense? Because this is going to demystify the reason why you overcome an objection, somebody makes a purchase and they quit. Why did they quit? Because the trust wasn't developed yet. You got to constantly be investing in those relationships. Make sense? Okay. Finally, consistency. Number 4, consistency. How many of you guys, when I said consistency, felt just like a little bit of a tummy ache? Consistency is hard, isn't it? I mean, even the people who are very successful and know how important consistency is struggle with it. Just struggle with it. I love this principle right here. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. How many of you guys are parents? How important is being consistent with building trust with your kids? It's probably the most, right? The same is true for all people. People love it. I mean, they respect it. Everybody wants to be consistent and they struggle with it. That's why when they see you do it, they respect it so much and it builds so much trust. Also, this desire for it pulls people to you. It's kind of cool because as you are consistent, you not only get respect and trust, but people are drawn to you. It becomes kind of a marketing channel. That's why it's so important. That's why every single company talks about being a product to the product and being consistent, right? Okay, just so you guys know, this principle came from one of my favorite books, which I will recommend to you. Put it on your personal development reading list. It's called Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion. Look, here's a picture of it. Anything by Robert Cialdini is pretty much amazing. He's probably the smartest social scientist ever on what motivates people. But he talks a lot about consistency, how the desire to be consistent also is one of our number 1 motivators. Okay. I can even make it flash a little for you if you haven't got that yet. Definitely read that book. It's an awesome book. If for those of you guys who don't like to read, but you like to do audio and video, he also did a TED Talk on this topic, on the 6 laws of social persuasion, which is phenomenal. Okay. There, now you got your personal development homework for today too. Though you might be able to count this presentation for today's personal development. Okay, so my question for you, one of my early mentors was Zig Ziglar. Have you guys ever heard Zig Ziglar or read his books? I got to meet him, which was pretty amazing. And he always talked about, here's your checkup from the neck up. Here's a checkup from the neck up for you guys. Are you consistent with your relationships? And here's the thing is, I'm guessing that you're probably consistent using your products, right? Most of you, I'm hoping, are pretty consistent posting on social media and building that, that part of your business. But are you consistent with your relationships? And what I mean is, are you consistent about actually staying in touch with people as you are about doing things like social posts? And this is important because people won't, oh wait, I wanted to give you this big principle and I went right by it. What am I going to do? I need somebody else advancing my slides. People won't believe you till they see you is my principle, okay? We're going to get there in a second. People won't believe you until they see you. What do I mean by that? I mean, you guys are on social media talking about this amazing life. Part of our business is showing people what their life could be like, right? On this journey. And there's a lot of people that follow you on social media that are engaged with your posts, but don't really believe you're inviting them, right? I mean, those of you guys who do really well on social media, isn't it still a small fraction of your friends and followers who comment and interact? The rest are watching. They're watching you on TV. They don't believe that you are engaging with them. And they won't. They haven't heard from you personally. Maybe you haven't talked to them since high school. They don't believe you're inviting them. Does that make sense? So here's the thing, guys. You need to know that relationship building is a contact sport. It's a contact sport. That means that you need to be in regular contact with people. People need to hear from you to know that you are actually talking to them. Okay? I'm going to show you how with Teamzy, you can actually be in touch with everybody you know on a regular basis, even though you have scarce time. Okay? It's going to be easy to do with a system like Teamzy, but this is it. You got to be in regular contact with people. And here's one of my most important principles I want you to get today. And that's this, that investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Okay, just really quick, indulge me. I'm gonna pop out so I can look at you guys for a second. I just want to give you an example of this. How many of you guys, and I do promise you, I'm going to show you Teamzy in like 2 minutes. We're almost there. How many of you guys have ever received just an awesome card from somebody? You know, like the kind of card where it's mostly white space and then they handwrite the message, right? It's handwritten. No, just underlining a couple cool words doesn't count. I'm talking about a handwritten message from the heart. You guys ever get a card like that from somebody you care about? And when you read that card, it gives you an emotional response, doesn't it? Yeah. I'm a total sap. My wife says I'm a big baby. Like, I'd rather get the card than the present sometimes. It means more to me, right? And then when you get a great card like that and you read it, you have this emotional impact. What happens with it after? Do you just throw it in the trash can, done with it? How many of you guys have a hard time throwing away great cards like that? You have a special place you keep them? You know, like you've got like, usually like a really pretty something, like a box or a drawer, a special place where you keep these special cards. A lot of times people keep them forever. In fact, usually when people pass away, the most prized thing they leave behind are their letters and cards. Isn't that amazing? By the way, on a little side note, just a little side note, let's hold that side note for a second. Let me ask you another question. You guys ever get a card like this? Look, I have an example. Can you guys see that? It's a happy birthday card. It's from my insurance salesman. You guys ever get one of these? It's a happy birthday card. It looks like it's handwritten, but it's not. It's actually printed with handwriting. It's a little bit personal, right? So do you guys ever get one of these from your dentist or your, whatever? It's nice. Is it nice? Does this go in the special place with the other cards? No, you have no problem throwing this away, right? It's like, maybe it gets you to think about them for a split second, put you top of mind, but it's not special. It doesn't have an emotional impact. We throw this away without any issue. What's the difference? Okay, well, I'll demystify it for you. It's time. This took no time. It has no meaning because it took no time. Investing time and connecting with someone is the only way to deepen a relationship. Yet spending 2 minutes of time to write a card to somebody. Not only that, but 2 minutes of undivided attention, right? Because can you play with Facebook and write somebody a note and a card at the same time? No way. 2 minutes of time makes it priceless. Is that amazing? People do not invest time in each other anymore. And so when you do it for a second, I'm going to show you Teamzy literally, guys, how to send a message in less than 10 seconds. Still, it makes an impact because it's one-on-one and you've made an investment in that relationship. And it's going to deepen relationships over time. You guys, it's like magic. I'm telling you. Those of you guys who have been using it, and I know a couple of you guys have been using Teamzy and you've been connecting, you're probably blown away at how impactful your messages have been because nobody does it. I'll just give you one more little side note on this, guys. Every day Facebook says whose birthday it is. You guys see those messages. Do you guys send messages to those people? Well, most people just post on the wall, which is overwhelming. You get like 700 posts on your wall. I just send people a message through Messenger, just happy birthday, just a little message. I can't tell you how many times people have told me, you're the only person who actually messaged me. Everyone else just posted on my wall. It's just so rare. You guys, you're going to blow this up. I'm telling you in a second. Okay, so one little last note on handwritten cards. When you use Teamzy, you'll see, I'm going to show you guys how to use Facebook Messenger today to do most of your messaging, but you'll also see that greeting card is one of your drop downs for a connect type. If you were to take a class on, how many of you guys would sign up for my class if I taught this on the marketing collateral you can buy for your business that people will treasure and never throw away ever? Would you guys take that class? Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, it's just a card. It's a handwritten card. If you write people handwritten cards, not all the time, but every once in a while, to your team, congratulations, I'm proud of you, they will save it forever. Okay, so go to moo.com or someplace like that and get some cards made up with your logo and your face and your company name that are blank inside and make that part of your thing. People will eat that up with a spoon. Okay. Going back now to my presentation, I think I have one more slide and then we'll jump into Teamzy. All right. Sorry. Okay, so you need a system. This is what you guys are here for. This is why you have me on your team call. You need a system. You need a way to stay in contact with all your relationships. You need to know when to contact them, and by the way, and when not to contact them. In other words, we need to take the planning out of your power hour so you can just get it done, right? If you don't have a system, it takes 2 hours to plan a 1 hour power hour. You need to know what to say so you don't get stuck all day in analysis paralysis thinking of the perfect message. Oh my gosh, what do I say? You need to just know what to say. And then make sure nobody ever falls through the cracks. And this is the thing that's the most painful, is when you're talking to somebody and they're interested and you've talked to them about the business opportunity, they're really interested. You've planted the seed with them and now you're nurturing that seed and they're saying, you know what, I'm just not ready yet. You're like, okay, no problem. And then the next thing you know, they've signed up with somebody else. Has that ever happened to you guys? Oh my gosh, why did that happen? Because you know what? You planted the seed, you watered the seed, you put sunshine on it. But when they were ready for harvest, you just weren't present because they fell through the cracks. Somebody else was, and they were ready. So you need a system so that doesn't happen. Okay. Let's get into Teamzy. When you see me looking up here or looking over there or looking down there, that's because that's where Zoom put your faces. And I feel like I always have to look up at you guys. Okay. Here we go. Teamzy, let's do this. Here we go. Okay. So here's my Teamzy dashboard. This is a brand new account. I haven't done anything with it. We're going to set it up together. Okay. You can see this is Juice Plus version. I'm going to pretend I'm really cool like some of you guys. Boom, there's my rank. All right, so let me show you how to set this up. First and foremost, for those of you guys who are watching this, have never even heard of Teamzy or know what to do, you can go to teamzy.com and get a free trial. It's free, completely free for 30 days. You get 100% access. We don't ask for a credit card or anything weird. We just want you to use it and love it. And for you guys who are leaders, this is great because when people join the business, they have this tool they can start with for free the first month without having to pay anything for it, right? So they can see how it works and really get some momentum going. And when you go to get your free trial, it's going to say your business, and you just, on the drop down, you just choose Juice Plus and you're ready to go. Okay? All right, cool. So when you first log into your free trial, it's going to bring you into a setup wizard. The setup wizard is designed to help you set this thing up pretty easily. And I'm going to, if you've dismissed it, you can get back there by going to this little settings wheel and just launch it right there. So here's the setup wizard. First thing it's going to ask is if you want to get tips via Facebook Messenger, which is great because you will send those tips via email, but you guys don't read email. So this is a better way to get them. You'll actually get them during your free trial, which is cool. All right. So in the setup wizard, we're going to do 3 things. We're going to set your income goal, and Teamzy is going to take that income goal and actually backward engineer it, tell you what to do every day to hit it, which is pretty cool. We'll help you create a powerful why, so you always remember what you're working for. And then we'll get all your contacts into Teamzy in one place, one list, so that you can be super mega organized. Okay, so let's just do it real quick. I'm gonna click start. There's little videos kind of here, but it's basically just me talking. You've got me talking anyways. Step 1 is to set your income goal. So you get into this box, it's a 0. You just put in a number. Okay, I'm gonna put in $150,000, which is my income goal for 12 months from now. Okay, I know we've got some national marketing directors on the call. You may be already making in excess of this. What I want you guys to set for your goal, there's a lot fewer of you guys than there are new people. For your goal, I just want you to set kind of what you want to create new for this year, right? New income in addition. So it might be 100,000 or whatever, okay? You do not need to be putting in like 500,000 as your goal as a national marketing director, because then you will be doing way too much. Okay, great. So you guys got it? Now, some of you guys are brand new and you're going, I just want to make 20,000. I just want to make 30,000. I encourage you guys to stretch, because I'm going to show you right now how to be so unbelievably efficient with your time. You can stretch to a little bit bigger goal. Okay, so just stretch a little bit out of your comfort zone. Okay, so I put in 150. I'm going to click continue. So now Teamzy's kind of calculated about how many connects I need to do. It's recommending 4,348 connects over the next 12 months. Okay, a connect is reaching out to a person and starting a conversation. That's it. A connect is just saying hello. It's starting a conversation. We call it the make someone's day mindset. My goal is to connect with 4,348 people and start a conversation with them. Okay, and I'll explain as we go how we take that conversation and try to make something happen with it. Okay, all right, next. So that's a pretty big number, 4,348. The next page breaks it down into bite-sized chunks so that I can handle it. It takes my big group of people and it breaks them into prospects, customers, and distributors. Okay? And then it breaks those down monthly, weekly, and daily. So it gives me a target. Now, this is just a suggestion. You can change these numbers around, but Teamzy is suggesting, based on my goal, that I connect with 9, you can see right here in these boxes. I connect with 9 prospects each day, 6 current customers each day, and 4 distributors on my team each day. Okay. Now, if you're brand new and you don't have any distributors, then you can just make that goal a 0 for now. Okay. And then change it as your team grows. Same thing with customers. If you don't have customers, you can make that a 0 now and change it as your team grows. And you can add all those numbers to your prospecting list. Make sense? If you want to do more than this, like I always like this to be an even number. So like 10 plus 6 plus 4, that's 20. So I can say, okay, I'm doing 20 a day. That's just me. I'm anal like that. So you can move these however you want, okay? And then the last 2 goals here are invites and ads. Okay, so an invite, see, up here we're connecting, we're just starting conversations. An invite is when you're having a conversation, and through asking questions and forming, you've uncovered a little bit of interest. Now we're going to invite them to something. Okay, we're going to invite them to something. And it depends on what you guys invite to. Maybe it's an opportunity call, maybe it's a 3-way call, maybe it's an event, maybe it's some sort of a share party, right? But we're going to be inviting people as we uncover interest. And we're not going to be forcing the issue on people who aren't interested yet. A lot of people we're just going to be starting our relationship and conversation with, right? So we'll keep moving. So the idea here is we're going to have 20 conversations today, and I'm going to get 3 solid invites out of those 20 people. And I do that daily, and that compounds, you guys. Oh my gosh. And then ads, these are new people. These are just new people I'm meeting and adding to my list. If you're new, maybe you're just adding people you haven't thought of yet that need to be in your Teamzy. But as you go, you need to constantly be adding fresh water, right? If you think about your business as like a river or a lake, it needs fresh water always. So we're going to be adding 3 people a day. Okay, and again, you can edit these to whatever you want. Whatever you decide on here, when you click continue, now your dashboard is set up to those goals. So each one of you will have a special dashboard just for you based on your goals. Okay? All right. Next. Finding your why. Next piece. Now, leaders, you guys know how important it is for people to know their why, right? For those of you guys who are new to this business, or maybe you haven't taken the time to do your why, maybe it just seems too much like hippy-dippy, new agey stuff, you're not into it, whatever. Here's the truth. 1 out of 2 people in this business will quit in their first year. 1 out of 2 people will quit this business in their first year. And the absolute reason why they're quitting is because they don't have a why strong enough. Okay? Kind of by our nature, we're quitters. We hate to hear that, but it's the truth, right? Even you guys who are very successful, you could probably list a dozen things you've quit on. I'm not passing judgment on you guys. We're all this way. What makes us successful, what gives us staying power isn't willpower. Willpower doesn't exist. There's no such thing as willpower. All that we have is why power. Why power, okay? And I get excited about this, and I go on passion tangents about your why because it's so important. But the bottom line is, you know, if you walked by a burning building and the fire department was there and they said, don't worry, everybody's safe and it's all good, would you consider running into that burning building for any reason? No way. But if you approached a burning building and the fire department was there and they were trying to figure out how to get the children out of the house that were stuck and they were your children, would you run into that burning building? What's the difference? The why. The why. So when you're working on your business and everything is at stake, again, your children, the lives of your family, your livelihood, right? Disease, sickness, illness, right? All these things are at stake. And the fires in our business happen, which is things like boredom, not feeling like it today, lack of visible results this week, right? Those things happen. What's going to cause us to run back in and do the work we need to do? It has to be a strong why. You guys with me? Because people just, I mean, yeah, things happen to people that are brutal because life's hard. That is true. And we're all going to have tragedy and things hit us. But the everyday things, the 3 biggest, I mentioned what are the 3 biggest threats to the business, which is boredom, lack of visible results, right? And just overall getting discouraged. We need a strong why. Okay, but here's the cool thing. If you haven't read 1,000 books like me on every personal development thing ever, and been to training camps, and some of them finding your why stuff super complicated, we just made it really simple. We built it into Teamzy, so you can lead a team member through this, or they could just do it on their own and find their why. And I'm going to share with you guys just my story as a quick example. Where's Teamzy? There it is. Okay, so I'm going to share you my story. There's basically 4 questions, and these are just to get your mind going, just to start thinking about things, right? So why did you become a distributor? Why did you join the business? You know, what's that first thing? Now, my story was, I had found, in my story, I was a Beachbody coach, right? I found a P90X at like Costco somewhere, and I did it eventually. It took me years to actually do it. But when I finally did it, I lost 60 pounds in 90 days, right? Needless to say, I was excited. And people could see the difference, and they were asking me, man, what are you doing? What are you doing? P90X, 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 all day long. What are you doing? What are you, P90X, P90X? I just did P90X. Wow. My wife says, I'm pretty sure you could become a distributor for them and be getting paid for that. So I did, right? I signed up for it. So why did I become a distributor? Because I was already referring people to it, to a product I liked. I was already sharing it. Might as well get paid for it. That was why. Deep. I wasn't the Eric that you see before you that has a passion for completely changing the network marketing world for the better, right? I just wanted to get paid for what I was already doing. Next question, what do you hope to accomplish? And you answer these just for yourself, you guys, just to get your mind going. Next question, what do you hope to accomplish? When I signed up, I wanted to make $500 a month. That's what I wanted to make. Just extra money. Just some extra money, okay? Next, why is that important to you? So I'm on the 3rd question. And when I was asked this question, I thought, well, that's a no-brainer. I want to put it in the bank. I want to save $500 a month. I want to put it in the bank. So you guys, you know, that doesn't seem like, that's just kind of random. You ever notice how people give you a number that's specific like that? So you guys need to understand where I was coming from. I told you that I came from the coaching industry, right? And that I was a business coach. Primarily, I worked with real estate people. That's who I worked with. And man, the real estate market in the early 2000s, amazing. It just like up, sky's the limit. I live in Southern California. So here it actually got to the sky, right? It just kept going up. Our business was growing exponentially every year, 30% growth every year. It was awesome. And it was cranking. Then the Great Recession hits. Do you guys remember what happened to real estate overnight? It disappeared. Boom. And about 50% of the value of homes in a lot of the country, but especially in the higher markets, disappeared overnight. Everybody was upside down on their mortgages, and our business we started losing 800-900 customers a day. It was really scary, and we ended up laying off half the company. I eventually was laid off, and it was a scary time. Now, by God's good grace, my family, we made it through that recession intact, you know, by our fingernails, but we used our savings. And we stopped saving. Like we made it. We just barely made it. And we made ends meet. But we didn't save. Almost 6 years, we didn't put a penny in savings. And it was I just felt really exposed because having lost my job already once, it was a really scary position to be in. And I had figured out, because I'm nerdy like this, I had figured out a bunch of times how long I could go without income before everything fell apart, before the mortgage defaulted, right? Before everything fell apart. And it was about 60 days. So, and I know a lot of you guys can relate to that because that's the way most people live. But the thought that I was 60 days away from financial ruin if I didn't do something or couldn't save some money was scary. So when this opportunity came, I was like, man, $500 a month in the bank, that would be great. Next question. What would achieving this mean for you and your family? And the reason why I'm telling you guys the story is because every one of you has a story like that, and there's reasoning behind what just comes out of your mouth or your mind. And the same goes for your team. What would achieving this mean for you and your family? I thought to myself, man, if I could save long enough, we could buy a new house. My wife and I have 4 kids and a Rottweiler, and we were in a small house. Every single room was human, dog, toys, everywhere, right? And I wanted to leave my job and build my business, and I had nowhere to do it. I had nowhere to do it. I didn't know how I could ever do that because we were like on top of each other. So I just thought, man, it would be great if we could buy a new house. I would love to do that. So now I've gone, just so you guys know, in 5 minutes, I went from, okay, fine, I'll sign up as a distributor. I'm already referring it anyways. I like the products, to, wow, maybe we could get a new house, right? And it's already starting to kind of click the wheels of there's a chance here to do something different. I get to this last question. Why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? Why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? How many of you guys are already excited to go through this process yourself? I'm not even done with my story. You're like, just shut up and let me do it. Okay, so I have to tell you guys that when I got to this question, I thought, man, is buying a house meaningful? I mean, is that a meaningful goal or is it just materialistic? What do you guys think? I mean, I kind of felt guilty because I thought it's materialistic. The truth is my parents had a smaller house than this and they were fine. And, we just want more, right? Here's what I realized. I hadn't thought about it mentally, but I knew it in my heart. The house was symbolic of the family. It was more than just a place to live. It was symbolic of my family. And here's what I realized when I stopped to think about this. It wasn't that we just needed more space. It was that I understood I was missing my family. Something was missing. It wasn't healthy. The truth is I was working all the time and I was never with my family. Here I was going to a job. I was considered the top of my industry, successful, right? I'd get up in the morning before the sun rose to go to work. I'd kiss my kids goodbye in their pajamas still, and I'd go to work. I'd come home. They had already had dinner. They were in the bathtub already when I got home, getting ready for bed. And I never saw my wife except at night for an hour before we went to bed. And here I was working so hard at a job that if I lost it, I was 60 days from ruin. And I was here for years and there was just nowhere. I was at the top of my career. There was nowhere to grow from here. I was completely stuck. And if I stayed here, we would survive, but I would miss my kids growing up. Who knows what would happen to my marriage? And there's no way I could pursue my dreams. I suddenly realized, you guys, that this network marketing opportunity ahead of me was more than $500 a month extra money. It was a way to design the life I wanted. It was a plan B that could actually work. Make sense? So I was able to kind of take this 10-minute process of thinking and come up with my first why statement, which I'll share with you guys. It's the kind of the sample text here on your Teamzy accounts. And it's this why. To create a life where I never have to worry about money again, I enjoy quality time with my family and I'm present for my children on a daily basis. I'm healthy and full of energy. Okay, that was the why that I wrote. This is that's my actual why that I wrote, word for word. Now I look at it and it's not just an amazing dream. It's just like, it's Tuesday. That's just what Tuesday looks like now, right? But when I wrote this, it changed everything. You guys, no longer was it just a hobby playing on the side. It was like, I got to work my business. I got to do it. And I'm going to show you how with Teamzy you can do it in like 30, 40 minutes. So then it became like, why wouldn't I just spend those 30 minutes doing this? Right? Because if I decide not to do it today, then I'm actually deciding to stay stuck. I'm actually deciding to stay where I am instead of going for this. Just a little side note. Remember how I said I had nowhere to build my business? The first thing that I did after writing this why was I went to Home Depot and I bought a tool shed. Like those sheds they have out front of Home Depot? Had it dropped in my backyard. I ran an extension cord out there. I built a stand-up desk out of an old pallet. I threw my Mac out there, my little round light, and I started building my business in a shed. And if you guys go to the Teamzy, you go to the Teamzy YouTube and look at the old videos, you'll see me training from a shed with a green sheet behind me sometimes. The thing is once you get your why in front of you, you can't be stopped. And so you guys who don't have one, you just need to know. Just listen to me for a second. I'm passionate about this. And I know you're ready for me to move on to the next thing, and I'm going to, but I just want to say this. If you don't have your why nailed down yet, it's okay, but you're going to quit if you don't do it. And the same thing is true for your people. In fact, for leaders, I always say, one way to know who's committed to building this business is whether or not they've got their why down. Okay? All right. Let's jump in and finish setting up Teamzy. Sorry, that was a passion tangent. I had to do it though. All right, so once you get your why, whatever you actually type in this box, right? Sample. That's a special language, only I understand, but it's my why in abbreviated form. Whatever you type in that last box, when you hit continue, that will be published on your dashboard. So you can read it every day when you go to do your power hour, okay? I highly recommend you read it out loud to yourself, as corny as you will feel. It does amazing things to your subconscious mind. You can read about that or just try it. It'll work. Okay. Last step is we're going to get some context loaded in. Okay. So we've got some different things here. We've got some videos on how to get stuff out of your back office, your Facebook friends. I love this. You can get your whole Facebook friends list into Teamzy so that everybody's in one place organized. You're not going through your Facebook messages trying to follow up. That's a mess, right? Everything's here organized. Anywhere that you have contacts, you bring them in. In fact, I don't think I have contacts in this account, so we're going to bring them in. I'll do it live with you. So when you do an import, this import page, it's in the wizard. It's also on the team page of Teamzy. Choose file. I know I just saved one. Must be down here. There it is. All right, so when you do an import, you find your file, there it is, and then you will mark it. You'll decide whether it's prospects, customers, or distributors, okay? As it comes in, because those will probably be separate files. So I'm gonna bring these guys in as prospects. Okay, continue. So I've got 1,002 people on that list. It's bringing them in right now, real time, putting them in my Teamzy account. Okay, now, when you've brought in your contacts, there's one more step for setup, and it's ranking them. And we have a real simple system, guys. We rank on a 5-star scale, just like you would rank something on Netflix or Amazon, right? You guys know how to do this. But we're gonna rank people. Okay, and this is important because you need to prioritize your relationships if you want to prioritize your time. The ranking will determine how often you're in touch with somebody, okay? And you want to spend the most time with the best people, okay? You want to spend the most time with the best people. If you don't prioritize them ahead of time, you'll neglect the best people and the turkeys will steal all your time. Is that true? Okay, turkeys will steal all your time. And people will sometimes ask you, your team will say, hey, I'm just wondering, am I a 4-star? What am I? I'll say, in my heart, you're a 5-star, but in my Teamzy, you're a 3-star. And you know exactly what you need to do to become more important to me on my list. Come on, girl, let's do it. Okay, this is what the stars mean. 5 stars. That's somebody most likely to become a customer or distributor or an existing customer or distributor that's a rock star, okay? A 5-star is gonna come up on your list to connect with, just to work on that relationship every 30 days, right? A lot of times people say every 30 days is not often enough. Trust me, that's really often just to be connecting with people out of the blue. Okay, 4 stars is somebody likely to become a customer or distributor with a little nurturing, or an existing customer distributor that's consistent. All right, they show up every 60 days. 4 stars is 60 days. 3 stars, everyone's a 3-star to start because they could go either way, you just don't know. And a 3-star comes up every 90 days, okay? They come up every 90 days. So even 3 stars, you're talking to them 4 times a year. And guys, most of your list, just listen to me for a second, most of your list will be 3 stars, and that's totally normal. That's how you manage a large list, actually. 2 stars, these are getting colder. They're every 120 days. You guys with me? 1-star people will not come up on your dashboard. They're just in Teamzy. You can look them up, but they're not coming up. They're just people you're not investing with regularly. Make sense? Okay, so once we've done that, this will take me now to the page. It's taking me now to my team page where that whole list is. Okay, and it's dropped me in rank mode. Rank mode, you can get there anytime by going to this menu and toggling it on, okay? So I'm in rank mode right now, which means I can just go down my list and rank people, okay? And I just do it by clicking. Just make people 4 stars if I want. If I see somebody I don't want, I can just delete them, okay? And let me see here. I got a couple people that are real. I'm gonna actually, it's gonna take me too long. You can also look people up in the lookup bar if you wanna jump to them. I'm gonna make this girl a 5-star because we're gonna actually message her in a second. Got a couple ringers. This is a fake list of people except for these 2 who work for me. Okay, so now when I'm on my dashboard, you can see, I'm gonna show you what this looks like. The who's up next is at the center. This is kind of the engine room where everything works. Who's up next tells me who's up next to connect with, okay? Real simple. And I'll show you this real quick, and then I'll just give you a quick tour of the dashboard, and then we'll do a power hour together. So I've got my prospects, my customers, my distributors, my follow-ups. There's 4 lists, and each list is only going to give me 5 people at a time, okay? That's so I can't get overwhelmed, and so that I can't skip around my list and cherry pick it. I have to work it, okay? It keeps you focused, and the dashboard is designed to keep people focused on their income-producing activities. Before I do this, I just realized I haven't assigned anybody to my other list. Let me just jump over here real quick. So if you're cleaning up your list, by the way, and you want to put people, you've got people all in one list and you need to move your distributors or your or your customers to the right place, you can go to type mode like this, which is just lets you do it really fast. And it's like, oh, okay, that person's a distributor, that person's a distributor, that person's a distributor, okay? Oh no, wait, that person should be on customer, that one too. You guys with me? So you can do that kind of thing. All right, so we've done that, right? Now I have all my lists full, look at this, see? Okay, so I've got my prospects, my customers, my distributors. The entire list will cycle through up this list eventually, but you start with the 5 in front of you. Make sense? Okay, on this side are your lists. On this side is where you log the activity you're doing with people. I'll show you how to do it in a second. Before I do that, I just want to show you up here today's activities. These are the goals that we set and set up. 10 prospects, 6 customers, 4 distributors, 3 invites, 3 ads. As I complete these activities, those zeros will turn to numbers and I'll see my daily goal completing, okay? Teamzy is based around the power hour and 1 day at a time. We set the big goal once. Now we focus on what we can do today because it's the only day we have to work, right? Okay, great. So the first person on my list is Jay. I'm going to connect with Jay. Now, I like to use Facebook Messenger because, listen up guys, this is not just my opinion. Facebook Messenger is the most effective form of communication right now that there is. The response rate is 50 to 100 times better than email. It's almost double the response rate to text messages. And it has other benefits. That is, if you're active on Facebook and you send someone a Facebook message, they're going to go look at your Facebook page a lot of times, even if they don't answer. So you're getting people to interact with your Facebook page. Okay, so I use Facebook Messenger whenever possible. But of course, whatever you have, you communicate with people. So on up here in my browser, I've got Facebook open on a separate tab, okay? Okay. So now when I go to connect with Jay, I'm going to send her a Facebook message. So over here is where I log it, right? So I'm going to send her a Facebook message. I'm getting ready to log this. But maybe you're like me and you're thinking, man, what am I going to say to her? Oh, it's so awkward. I don't know where to start. I don't even really know who Jay is, right? We're just Facebook friends. Or maybe I knew Jay 20 years ago and we haven't been in touch except on Facebook. You guys relate to that? So what do I do? Okay, I don't want you guys to stress over this. The most important thing is movement, right? Don't get stuck in analysis paralysis. So right here in the middle, see where it says scripts? I'm going to click that. I've put a whole bunch of just really relational scripts that get you started. Okay, so I'm going to click Facebook to get a Facebook script. And look, here's a great script. Connect number 1. Hi, Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome. I know you guys are like, that's too simple, Eric. This works unbelievably well. So I'm going to copy that script. Now it's copied to my clipboard. I'm going to toggle over to Facebook. I'm going to look up Jay. Yes, you have to send messages through Facebook. Facebook Messenger, by the way, is only getting more important, not less. They don't let other apps play with them anymore. So there's Jay right there. I'm going to send her, wait, I want this button. Send message. Okay. So check this out. I already have it on my clipboard. Just paste it in there. And I'm going to change the name. Hi, Jay. Just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day is awesome. You can change this up or make it sound more like you. Okay. This is actually what I said when I messaged people. This particular script, by the way, has a better than 50% response rate, at least in my experience. Okay. So I'm going to send that. Boom. It's sent. Great. So now what I'll do is I want to log that in Teamzy. Okay. Change the name. Now it's there. There's the message. I just pasted it in so I don't have to type a note. It just saves me time. Now I'm going to log it. Now watch what happens when I log it. List moved up. I have a 1 on the scoreboard now. Jay's gone. Sue's up next. Now I'm going to connect with Sue. Same way. I'm going to go to Sue, look her up. And yeah, if you want, you can go to their full profile and you can scroll around and see what they're up to and stuff, you know? But here's my pro tip on that, guys. I don't really do that until they've responded to me. I send that first message and just crank through. And then when they respond and say, I'm doing great, how are you? That's when I'll go look at their page and I'll go, oh my gosh, that's on Facebook that you're doing whatever. That's so cool, right? And start a conversation. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing with Sue. You can see I do this to her all the time. She works for us. Now, just a little pro tip that you guys may want to do. I've had a lot of Teamzy people tell me they like to do this, which is they put the script first in Teamzy, right? Come on, computer. There you go. They put the script in Teamzy first, which is not, it's kind of the opposite of the way that I was showing you, but this works great too. And they change the name there. so that they don't risk putting the wrong name in Facebook Messenger. That's actually a pretty good tip. Okay. So you can do it that way too and copy it from here. That's cool. So then I come back here and put the right one in. See, here I go. Can't do it. I'm using a computer, but you can also do all this, guys, on your phone, which is pretty cool. If we have time at the end, I'll show you. You get the idea. I'm just going to send her Jane. She'll get over it. Okay. So then I go to the next person, right? So we log that one. Oh, I forgot to select activity. That was a Facebook message. So you can see there's lots of things you can do. Email, text. You can actually send Gmail through Teamzy, which is cool and automatically logs it. Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, phone calls, greeting card, in person, other. I'm just telling you guys, before you all email me and say, can you add this? Can you add that? Can you add that? That's what other's for. There's a maximum amount of things I'll put in a drop down because it won't fit on your phone and it will drive you nuts when you're using it. When that drop down's there, you're going to be like, why does it have some random thing? It's like, because somebody sent me an email once. No thanks, right? Okay, so I'm going to keep going. Evangelia, what a pretty name. She's next. Message, all the way down till I get to 10 and I get this full. You down with me? Next, when those are done, by the way, people will start responding and just don't answer them yet. You got to finish this first, okay? Because you'll get sidetracked and not finish it. Go all the way through your prospects. Now customers. Start messaging your customers, right? Teamzy's already going to know that you're on customers and give you different scripts, which is cool. Okay? Look, here's a great one. Friday, you're getting great results. You must be feeling pretty good about the progress you're making. I'm planning my calendar now, looking at who will be able to help this month. And before it fills up, I wanted to ask if there's anybody you care about that might like to learn more about Juice Plus. Great. Send me over their contact information. I'll get them some more info. Okay, like these are just some scripts that have worked great for me that I threw in here for you guys that you can use with customers. But you might want to just start with something like a connect. Hi, John. How are you enjoying the, whatever they're using? Send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. This is a great one because people will say, oh, I'm doing great. But they'll also usually, very often, have questions for you. Right? You get to be the pro and the expert and help them. What happens when customers ask questions? They order more stuff, right? That's good for everybody, for them and for you. Okay, and then there's different ones, this is my favorite one. Just check it in and see if there's anything I can do to make your day. Just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. By the way, if you haven't ever used that one, I recommend send that to a couple of your favorite customers today, just to see the response. You'll be sold on that one. It's unbelievable because people are like, oh my gosh, you just did. Now, 3 things really quick why you got to be in touch with your customers. And guys, and I know we've got some national marketing directors on this call. And I don't know you guys personally, so this isn't about you, but I have talked to top, RFX Circle winners in Rodan and Fields. I've talked to Superstar Diamond coaches in Beachbody. And a lot of times when people have large teams, they kind of get overwhelmed by the size of that customer list. And they start to lose contact with them over time. And I'm here to tell you guys, especially you guys new, stay in touch with your customers. There's 3 reasons why to be in touch with your customers regularly is so important. First of all, with Teamzy, it'll be easy to do, so it won't be overwhelming. But if you're in touch with customers on a regular basis, they order more, right? So everybody's volume goes up, which is great. And it's great for the customer because they're getting great products. They will, if they're on like an automatic order, they'll stay on it longer. So your retention goes up if you're in touch with people. Because a lot of times, guys, the products are great, but a lot of times it's your relationship that makes them want to buy it. Okay, so you got to keep investing in that. But the number one, the most important reason why you got to be in touch with customers is this. Write this down, guys. If you haven't been taking notes, this is the one to write down. The single best, hottest source for a new lead in your business is a current customer. The single best, hottest source for a new lead in your business is a current customer. People who are using your products and enjoying them, guess what they're doing right now while we're talking? They're talking to other people about them. Human beings cannot help themselves. If they like something, they're talking about it, right? You guys do the same thing? Go to a great movie, what do? You tell everybody about it. Are you getting paid by that movie theater? No. They're already talking about it. They're already building your business. Now, here's the thing that you need to know. Those people that they are talking to are interested in Juice Plus. They are going to get it in many cases, but not from you. So if you want to be introduced to the people that your customers are talking to, you got to be in touch with your customers, and you have to be constantly telling them, hey, as you're talking to people, please introduce them to me. I'll get them more information. By the way, somebody who brings you 5 people that they've been talking to, hello, they're the perfect distributor recruit, right? Like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for introducing me to your 5 friends. They're all interested. You know, have you thought about being a distributor? Because we've already got you 5 customers. Okay, you guys with me? I know I'm preaching the choir, you guys, but you got to be in touch with your customers. Finally, you got to talk to your distributors on a regular basis. This is so huge, especially as you grow your team. It's all about the community and the family that you build. And with Teamzy, it'll be super easy. People want to be connected to you. Okay, having a Facebook group's great. Having live calls is great. But that personal connection is everything. Guys, it's the difference between this card and the handwritten card. You with me? Okay, so that's why we call it Teamzy. It's all about your team. Prospects, customers, distributors. In this example, it was 20. You can do that easy in 20 minutes. Last step is follow-ups, and I'm sorry that I'm talking so long. I just really got into talking to you guys today. The last list is follow-ups. We've got nobody on our follow-ups list. Oh my gosh, how do we get people on our follow-ups list? Let me take you through that process really quick. So now we've sent out 20 messages and we're starting conversations. Let's say 10 people don't respond at all. It's fine, no big deal. You're top of mind for a second. Maybe they went to your Facebook page. They're going to come back on Teamzy whenever down the road, and you'll message them again. Right? Eventually you'll have that relationship warmed up. But for the 10 people who do respond, now you're in conversations, you're asking questions, you're forming, you're connecting, right? Having a conversation with them. So let's say, for example, I messaged Jay, and Jay and I are having a conversation. And as we're talking, she's asking me about what I'm doing, and I'm telling her, you know, oh my gosh, it's been so great. You know, I'm home with the kids now, with my family. I work from home 2 years now. It's just been so great. I don't have to worry about losing my job. I get be in control of my own destiny. She's like, oh my gosh, that sounds so great. And so now I'm going to invite her. She's interested in learning more. I'm going to invite her to something. So what do? I'm going to look her up, first of all, in the lookup bar to bring her record up to me. There it is. And now what I'm going to do is I'll click connect to log a connect. But this time, see on the left where it says invite? I'm going to click that. Okay. Because instead of just connecting to say hi, this one's going to be an invite. So let's say I'm going to invite her to a 3-way call with my upline. Okay, so boom, we're going to invite her to a 3-way call with my upline. I'm going to send that over, let's say via email. I'm going to email you right now all the information on when we're going to have our call, which is great. I'll just write here a little note, 3-way call. Okay, now before I log this, so as I'm talking to her, I'm going to email you the information. We're going to have the call a little bit later on today, and then I'll follow up with you tomorrow and see if you have any questions. Sound good? Great. So I need to set a follow-up now. See, Jay's a 5-star, so she'll come back in 30 days, but I need to follow up when? Tomorrow. So I'm going to click follow up right here to set a follow up. So I'll set it for tomorrow. You can also do custom date, you know, but I'll set it for tomorrow. Now watch what happens. I'll log this connect, and now she has a follow up set for tomorrow. So on my dashboard, when I do my power hour tomorrow, I connect with my lists again. When I get to follow ups, now I've got a follow up set. So every single day as I'm sending my 3 invites, I'm adding 3 people to my follow-ups list. So that's how I'm filling the follow-ups pipeline. Make sense? Okay, so now let me show you guys how this works. To do a follow-up in Teamzy, again, it's super easy. When I get to time to follow up with her, I'm going to go to scripts again. Right? I'm going to message her on Facebook again. And look at this, follow-up number 1. Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? You're just going to copy that and send it to her. Okay, we're just going to copy that script and we're going to send it to her. Watch how easy this is. Right? So you change the name, boom. Make sure you send it in Facebook. Here, let's just do the whole thing. I'll do it once with you. That's Facebook message, right? I'm going to jump over here. We're going to look up Jay. Here she is. We're going to send her this message. Okay, boom, follow up done. Now, before I log this connect, guys, this is really important. I got to set the next follow-up. I want to keep her on my follow-ups list. I don't want her to fall back into default. So I'm going to follow up again tomorrow. Okay, with me? All right, so really quick, just really quick on follow-ups. You saw how easy it is to do. Now tomorrow, by the way, when I do it, I'll go to scripts again, and I'm going to get follow-up number 2 from scripts. Okay, great. There's 10 in there, by the way. There's 10 in there. Now, why are there 10? I just want to talk to you guys real quick about this. I know I've been talking a long time. You guys want to ask me questions, but here's the thing you need to know. Between 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and the 10th follow-up. Have you guys heard that statistic? 80%, I'm going to write it, I'll say it so you can write it down. 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and the 10th follow-up. How many of you guys follow up between 7 and 10 times? I mean, I can't see everybody's hands, but I'm guessing there's very few raised. Okay? And I understand why. There's two reasons why. There's only two reasons why you wouldn't follow up 7 to 10 times. The first one is you don't have a system like Teamzy yet, and you're just not that organized. I mean, how can you keep track of somebody in Facebook Messenger 10 times? It's impossible. But the real reason, let's be honest, is that you guys are worried about being annoying. How many of you guys that's your worry? You don't want to be a nag. Okay, really quick. First, I want you to have a mindset shift, and then I'm going to teach you 2 principles so you'll never be annoying when you follow up. How many want to know how to never be annoying when you follow up? I'm going to teach you that in a second. The first thing you need to have is a mindset shift. Do you guys believe in your products? Do you believe they're life-changing? Do you believe this business opportunity can change somebody's life? Okay, how many of you are actually, that's why you're here, you're passionate about helping people? Okay, good. I'm glad you're here. Because if you didn't raise your hand, at least emotionally for that, you should just leave now. The call's over for you. But if you want to help people, there's only one way. Do you guys have a special, is there a special Juice Plus option where you can change a life when they don't make a purchase? Do you guys have anything special like that? Come on, not really. Let's be honest. They need to step up and commit to doing something if you can really help them change their life. Which means if 80% of them won't do it until you followed up 7 to 10 times, you guys need to understand this. If you love people and want to help them, there's only one thing you can do to do it, is following up. Following up is not an annoying thing you have to do. It's actually an act of love. Following up is an act of love. You can write that on a little sticky note, put it on your computer screen to remind yourself. Following up is an act of love. It is how we love people through this process. It is the only way we help people in this business. And you're like, yeah, Eric, I believe that, but I still don't want to do it because it's annoying. Let me teach you how to do it. There's 2 principles to never be annoying. By the way, I already told you there's 10 scripts in Teamzy already based on these principles. So you don't even have to think, just send them every couple days and follow up. Okay, just work your list. But here's the 2 principles. Never be annoying when you follow up. The first principle is this. Don't ask someone to do anything in your follow-up. Don't ask them to do anything in your follow-up, ever. Please call me back. It's so annoying. Don't ask them to do anything. Okay, that's the first thing. But Eric, I've been taught to always have a call to action. No, you've already had a call to action. That was your invite. Now you're just following up on it. They know what your call to action is. They know what you need them to do. Okay, don't ask them to do anything. You won't be annoying. Second thing is keep your follow-up short and sweet and printed like a text or a Facebook message so they can read it on their phone without opening it. They don't want you to know they've seen it. Do you guys do that with people, with messages? Why don't you want them to see it? Because you're not going to respond right now. You don't want to come across rude that you're not responding when you're busy. Here's what I want you guys to understand. They don't want to respond right now because the subconscious mind works this way. I don't have time to go into it because I've already taken a lot of time, but I'm just going to give you this like Reader's Digest version. 85% of our actions come from our subconscious mind. This is why you can arrive in your driveway and not remember driving home. Has that ever happened to you guys? Your subconscious mind can actually take care of just about everything. You only consciously think 15% of your actions. So when I'm talking to Jane, she's excited about the business opportunity. That's her conscious mind, 15% of her life. When I call her, while she's excited, her subconscious is thinking, no, scary, change, risk, no way. So when I follow up with her later, she sees my follow-up and she's like, oh yeah. And then her subconscious mind, what it will do is it will cause an excuse to happen. It happens subconsciously. She doesn't even know it's happening. Oh yeah, I got to respond to him, but oh man, the dog just threw up on the baby. So I got to handle that first. So I'm glad that he doesn't know I read the message because I can't respond right now. She goes, takes care of that. Tomorrow I send her another nice follow-up. Again, make someone's day, mindset, positive, happy. I'm the one that's here to help you. She sees it. She has a spark of joy, a spark of hope from that first conversation. Something else happens. She can't do it right now. Can't do it right now. I'm making dinner. This is what happens. 3 times, no response. Most people now give up following up after 3. I will tell you guys that the majority of people will not, people who love and respect you and are interested, because a lot of times we think it's one of those 3 things that are wrong, right? People who love you, respect you, and are interested will not respond to you the first 5 or 6 times. That's the way most people are, and this is what's happening. The reason why 80% of people complete a sale between 7 and 10 is because they've heard from somebody enough that their subconscious is literally rewritten to be accepting of this opportunity. So if you love people and want to help them, the only way to do it is to follow up and keep following up and let them know. And here's what will happen. I will guarantee you guys this. People will thank you. They will say, thank you for not giving up on me. You're like, oh my gosh, I was so worried about being annoying. No, thank you for not giving up. Thank you for sticking with me. We appreciate it. And at about 6 follow-ups, the conversation will actually restart. They'll say, thank you. I'm going to look at that original thing that you sent me now. You're like, now? Ah! And then you start following up with them again. Make sense? Okay, so then what happens, just really quick, I know you guys got to go, and I have another Zoom at 12:30, so we'll make this happen real quick. So the way I finish her off is I'm going to look Jay up in the lookup bar. I've gone into my back office. I followed up with Jay for weeks. She's signed up. She's good to go. I'm going to log the sale right here by clicking sale. Let's say she paid her application fee, right? So I want to put in that she came in. Save that. Great. Now that's logged. So now we know. Now I'm going to see where it says member type. I'm going to go over here to distributor. Bam. Personally sponsored. So now she's going to show up on my distributor list, not my prospects list. Okay. I'm going to continue building my relationship with her over on this list. Make sense? Okay. I covered a lot. I know I covered a lot, and I only scratched the surface on what you can do in Teamzy. Let's do 10 minutes of Q&A, see what questions you guys may have. And if you have a question, just unmute yourself and ask it.
Okay, I have a question. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Hi, Tim.
Hi. Okay, so all of these conversations are going on. When I go back 10 days, whatever, will I be able to see what I said, what was discussed, and or possibly their response? Or just, it was like, this is my 4th contact with them.
Yeah.
Am I going to say, because I'm going back, I'm like, okay, who's this person? What did I say before? Is that going to be visible for me?
Okay, so Tim, that's a great question. So when you are, you can log everything in Teamzy for sure. But I will tell you, because as far as being efficient with your time, let's say you're using Facebook Messenger. The most important thing to have in Teamzy is when your next contact is. So if I log my outgoing contact to them, but I don't go back and paste in the whole conversation, it's okay. Because when they come up again next week, let's say my follow-ups list, when I go to them on Facebook, there's my whole conversation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
People will come to me and go, I can't do that. It's got to all be in Teamzy. And I say, okay, well, what you can do is you can go back to the original connect, hit edit, and paste the whole conversation in later. But I will tell you guys this. The reason why I don't recommend that is if you use Teamzy, I'm going to give you guys a little challenge here in a second. If you use Teamzy even for 30 days, you will generate so many conversations that going and pasting conversations in Teamzy is not what you're going to want to be doing. You're going to be busy talking to people. It can almost be overwhelming at first, but you guys got to understand that'll be your new normal. People in this business are sitting around scratching their heads trying to figure out how to connect with people. You do this system, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, always talking to people, always things happening in your business. It's exciting, right? So that's where your focus needs to be, Tim, is what's the next, did I log the outgoing connects so that they're going to come back on my list at the appropriate time so I can continue connecting with them? Make sense?
Yeah.
And so out of those people, let's say the 20 people you connect with on a daily basis, the people who don't respond, don't even give them a second thought. The people who don't respond are going to come back on your list a month, 2 months, 3 months down the road. Don't even give them a second thought. The people who do respond, engage, have a conversation with them. The ones that are interested a little bit, invite them and follow up. The ones that the conversation fizzles out, again, just let them flow back into your Teamzy flow. You're going to pick them up later. This lets you constantly be moving relationships forward, and it's like you're sifting the gold out as you go. But unlike the go for no philosophy, you're not throwing people away. You're continually working and building and warming up those relationships. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. Who else has a question for me?
I have a quick question in regards to the daily operation. I posted it in there, but I didn't see anyone respond. Is that if you're working 7 days a week? So do you have to overcompensate if you're only working 5 days a week?
It is set for 7 days a week, but here's what I'll tell you. You don't need to overcompensate. If you, Michelle, right? Hi, Michelle. If you do this 5 days a week, you're going to do fine. You're going to be fine. You're not going to fall short of your goal. There's a little bit of slack built into the thing, into the algorithms. It's all about consistency and building momentum, though. So here's what I will tell you. You will do better doing it 5 days a week than having a monster Saturday once a week. Make sense? By the way, that doesn't work anyways, because if you have a monster Saturday, guess what? People want to talk to you all week long after that. So it's better just to kind of have a couple times blocked in. So you're going to block your power hour where you do all your proactive stuff. And then you're going to need to set aside some time to actually have conversations too. Okay. And I recommend having a couple of hours in the day where it's like, this is where I'm going to be messaging with people. Or else you can fall into what I call the Eric trap, which is the obsessive desire to instantly respond to everybody constantly, which I do fall into that. And then my wife beats me out of it. And I have to remember to discipline my time. Hopefully that was helpful. Any other questions?
I have a quick question. This has been excellent training. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Getting your contacts from your phone into Teamzy. I watched your tutorial, downloaded that MC backup.
Yeah.
But I've never received an email from them.
Okay.
Is that the way that the best way you recommend?
Yeah, it's you got to follow those steps. And the other thing I will tell you is when you get it, what email address are you using?
A Mac.com.
Mac.com. So maybe try it with a Gmail address.
Okay.
Okay, Gmail tends to work. Okay, so some of the email service providers get spammed by the other ones, and there's like rivalries. Like YouTube app doesn't work anymore on Amazon tablets because they hate Google, right? Like, so there's these little built-in things sometimes that doesn't work. So some of the older emails, like I have a MSN.com email. It used to be Hotmail 25 years ago. Like that one never gets sent anywhere. It just gets spammed by everybody. But Gmail tends to work real well. So try the Gmail thing. Okay. And if you have any trouble getting that uploaded, let us know. But I will give you a pro tip on that. When you get that, Cynthia, when you get that sheet, that spreadsheet, when you put it into Teamzy, it's going to ask you to kind of like match some of the columns.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people in your phone, you have their cell phone number, not their home phone number.
Right.
That's the number you want to map to phone in Teamzy. Okay? So make sure you put cell phone to phone in Teamzy. And then you can put all the other numbers in as notes so you have them. But primarily, you're going to talk to people on their cell phone. So a lot of times people will go, well, I did it, but there's no phone numbers. It's because it mapped home phone. You had two people with their home phone and it put an empty column in. So that's the one thing I would tell you about if it's an iPhone, especially the iPhone exports are kind of funky like that. Okay.
I love Teamzy. I've been using it for weeks, by the way, and it's the boss I needed, the silent boss.
Awesome. Well, what's funny is it basically is, when as a coach, for years as a business coach, I told people as soon as they got to six figures, you need to hire a full-time assistant in your business. And really that's what Teamzy is. It's an electronic version of what somebody would pay $30,000 a year to have as an assistant, because one of the assistant's roles was to make the list of who to contact every day, right? You guys get an assistant in your business for $1 a day, less than $1 a day. So just to let you guys know, by the way, I didn't mention this, Teamzy's free for 30 days. Everyone on your team can try it for 30 days. After that, it's $29.99 a month. Again, less than $1 a day, or you can do annually and save a little bit of money that way too. And people come to me and they say, well, gosh, I'm used to spending nothing on my business. Everything's free. Why are you charging for this? Guys, you just need to understand, as business owners, you have to invest in two things that will save you time and things that will make you money. That's where you need to invest, right? Teamzy's both of those things. We give you a 30-day free trial because here's the deal. If you use this for 30 days, I'm going to give you guys 3 action steps real quick. There is no doubt in my mind that you will not earn the money that you need to pay for Teamzy. Probably in that first month, you'll be able to pay for your entire year of Teamzy just from using this, okay? Let me give you your action steps real quick, and then I'll take a couple more questions But I need to do this because it's important. So here's your action steps. Make sure you guys get your 30-day free trial started. Okay, if you're already in a free trial, get your subscription set up so you don't miss a beat when it ends. Okay. Get a 30-day success partner to do the trial with you. Okay, so if you have a success partner, say, hey, do this with me. If you don't, pick somebody on your team or a sideline person and say, will you do this for 30 days with me? It's free. What I want you guys to do is commit to using it daily and then take a screenshot. When you've completed your action steps, you get this 100% you crushed it message on your screen. Screenshot that to your success partner every day for your 30 days. Okay? You will get so much out of it if you do that. Now, I'm going to give you guys another challenge, which is your 5-day challenge. I want to challenge you guys just for 5 days. At some point in your trial, for 5 days consecutively, I want to see you connect with 100 people in 5 days. So that's an average of 20 a day. That's the example I showed you guys today in our demo. Okay? I want you to experience the momentum you can create even in just 5 days in your business. All right? You guys get those? Who's up for these action steps? Let me see. Little public accountability. Did you guys know that people are wired to help to do things for others more than for themselves? How many of you guys relate to that? Even just putting your hand up on a call like this makes you more likely to do it. Okay, so there's your action steps. Let me give you guys, let's take 2 more questions. And then at that point, if you have more questions, you can send them to me and I'll answer them for you.
Hey, Eric, I have a question.
Go ahead, I can hear you.
Thanks. Okay, so as you move up and as you become a leader and you grow your team, can the leaders see their distributors' why and what they're doing every day if they're completing, their goals?
Great question.
Mm-hmm.
You can't see their why. They'll have to send you that. But you do have a team report, and you can see the daily, weekly, monthly, whatever activity of everyone on your team. Absolutely. It is so cool.
Fantastic.
The other thing is, I run a boot camp every quarter for Teamzy where we bring in, it's called the Elite Business Boot Camp. People come in and we put them together in a group. And we do this boot camp. And I pull a leaderboard from my team report. And it shows like people who really nailed it. They get 2 little flame icons in the leader report. And then the people who aren't doing anything get a little sleepy head icon. So the team report is amazing. Not only do you get to hold people accountable, but if you have a team call, like you do a live call like this with your team, to pull up last week's team report and take a minute to celebrate people who are crushing their numbers. And then, you can even sometimes you can even show the people who aren't and be like, hey guys, I'm only sharing this because I care about you. I want to, what can we do to help you and support you? So that's a huge piece of it. I'm glad you asked that. I don't have it to show you right now. I mean, I can show you in this account that I'm using, it's empty. I'll show you what it looks like real quick, where to find it. But it's right here where it says team report on the left. And that brings you in here to the team report. And you just click there to get started. And then basically, if you want to add somebody, you just click this button and you send an email invite to your downline people. And when they accept that, their stats will show up here. Okay? Pretty cool. You can also share your stats with your downline the same way if you want to be held accountable in that way. All right. One more question. Someone asked, do we have an app? I see that. So let me just show you real quick. We don't have an app, but we have a mobile website that works just like an app. So let me share my screen with you on my phone. Okay, so you guys see my phone. So let me open it up. So there's Teamzy right there. I've saved it to my dashboard. That opens up my Teamzy account. I do my Face ID. There's my Teamzy account on my phone. So you can do everything that we just showed you. The only thing is bulk imports you have to do on a computer because phones aren't there yet. They might be in a couple of years, but they're not there yet technology-wise. But everything I can do here. I can go to somebody's record. I can get my scripts from here, right? Which is kind of cool. I can copy them from here. And then I could toggle over to Messenger, right? And I can paste that script and then send it and then paste back. Do the whole thing. Pretty cool. All right. So There's that. All right. I know that really wasn't a question that somebody asked, so I'll take one more and then I have to run. Anyone else have one?
Hi, I have a question.
Hi.
I'll unblock myself. Hi, I'm Penny. Thank you so
Hi,
much
honey.
for that training. So question is, on my Facebook, my emails, my phone, I've got so many duplicate contacts.
Yeah.
Do they merge, or do I have to go in and merge them?
Okay. So if they have the same name, they'll be ignored the second time you try to import them,
Okay.
which will minimize about 98% of them.
Okay.
We actually do have a merge tool that we've built, but it's not deployed yet. So that's coming in the next couple of months, probably. But so for now, you would just delete the duplicate ones that come through. But again, if they have the same name, like if you import your back office first and then import Facebook, everyone with the same name won't show up again. They won't duplicate. But you may get some because people use different names on different lists. So there will be a little bit of cleanup in the beginning. If you have a huge list, you may not want to bring everybody in on day one, right?
Okay.
So you may want to start with your first level distributors, right? Your customer, like your preferred customers, get those in. Maybe and then maybe your Facebook friends, and then start working on some of your other lists. But keep it manageable as you go, because you're still not going to connect. If you have 20,000 people, you're still only going to connect with 10, 15, 20 a day, right?
Right. Yeah.
So don't overwhelm yourself. And here's the other thing I want you guys to know too, is sometimes people allow that overwhelmed feeling to be a stopping point. Okay? Just doing it is better than doing it perfectly. Does that make sense? Like how a lot of people go, I'm stuck on the ranking. I just don't, I have 4,000 people on my list and I don't want to rank them, so I'm not doing anything. It's like, well, just do it anyways. Just start connecting with people then. And then they're all threes. Fine. Just start connecting with people. Right? Now, I do recommend you go through and figure out who your fives are, your top people. You're going to have a couple handfuls tops of 5-star people, and promote them up so that you're talking to them more often. But even if you just could start working on your list and start connecting with people, at least you're building some momentum. Make sense? So don't get stuck in that overwhelmed analysis paralysis. You just got to start. You just got to take a step, one step at a time. Just put one foot in front of the other. Make sense? Okay. Guys, I hate to run. I would love to stay here and talk to you all day, as you can tell.
Thank you so much, Eric.
But I just want to thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure to be here with you guys today.
Thank you. We are so excited about this, and you can just send me the recording, and then I can share it with everyone who wants to watch it again and share with their teams.
I'll send it a little bit later as it needs to kind of do its rendering and all that. Yeah. But I will message it to you. And I think I have let's find me on Facebook and friend me. That'll be easier. Okay. But I know I have your email also from Jay.
Yep. Okay.
So also, leaders on this call, let us know if you want to do a team call for your teams. Be happy to do that for you. You can friend me on Facebook, or you can message support@teamzy.com. Awesome. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Have an awesome day. God bless.